Hey everyone, it's September 3rd, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with confessed serial killer Albert DeSalvo, best known as the Boston Strangler, who may have killed as many as 16 victims from 1962 to 1964. And that is him right over there. DeSalvo was born in Chelsea, Massachusetts in 1931 and was raised by an alcoholic father who often beat his mother, even going so far as to knock his wife's teeth out and breaking her fingers in front of their kids. It's no wonder he had problems as a youth, being picked up for shoplifting and theft multiple times, and even being known to torture animals. First formally arrested at the age of 12, he was sent to reform school for battery and robbery, but didn't seem to learn much because although he was released a year later, he was quickly returned to the school when he stole a car. This time, upon his release, he enlisted in the Army, serving as a military police sergeant in Europe in the late 1940s and early 50s, and was honorably discharged after 2 tours of duty. He returned to Boston with a German wife, by whom he fathered 2 children, but unfortunately his story doesn't have a happy ending. In 1962, a Latvian immigrant was found strangled in her Boston apartment, the first victim of the man who would come to be known as the Boston Strangler. By the end of June that year, 4 middle-aged women had been strangled in their own homes. Then in December, younger women began to be victimized, with 2 women in their 20s found dead at home. A manhunt was launched while the city was gripped with fear. All told, 13 women were found dead between June 1962 and January 1964, with crime scenes so gruesome that their details weren't published in newspapers. Meanwhile, the police were also searching for a suspect known as the Green Man, who had sexually assaulted nearly 300 women in Cambridge during that same period. When a sketch of that assailant was publicized, many women came forward to report that he had attacked them as well, and DeSalvo was pegged as a suspect. Picked up for questioning about these assaults, DeSalvo shocked the police by confessing not just to the rapes, but to the murders as well. He was able to cite details about the crimes that were not public knowledge, but no physical evidence was found to definitively tie him to the murders at the time. Noted defense attorney F. Lee Bailey represented him about 30 years before he would be a part of O.J. Simpson's defense dream team. But DeSalvo was convicted of the Green Man crimes and was sent to the first ever sex offender treatment center in Massachusetts, where he was sentenced to spend the rest of his life. In February of 1967, he escaped, but turned himself in 3 days later, claiming he just wanted to bring attention to the conditions at the hospital. He was then sent to a maximum security prison where he remained until a fellow prisoner stabbed him to death in 1973. DeSalvo was never formally tried or convicted of the murders, and there have been many theories floated that he was in fact innocent and that he was killed when he was about to come forward with the truth. DNA evidence was used in 2013, however, to prove that he was at the scene of the final victim of the Strangler. Some believe that there were a number of killers at work in 1962, or that a former prison confidant of him was the real killer, and that DeSalvo confessed in an attempt to get his family taken care of by selling his story. We'll never know for sure, but DeSalvo has become known as one of the most infamous killers of all time. In 1971, the Texas state legislature voted to honor DeSalvo for his work in population control. This was a stunt to show that legislators often voted without examining issues, and was withdrawn. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Albert DeSalvo, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.